One. And hey,
everybody.
Hello internet. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Dabs live stream. If this is the first time that you're joining us, this is our monthly live stream where first Tuesday of every month we check in with you, the internet, just for like an hour-long sesh.
Yeah.
Just getting into it.
Happy Tuesday, guys.
Yes.
7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We like to do a little monthly check-in. Talk about how the past month's been. We usually smoke something fun, do a little Q&A.
Yeah.
And we realized for this month that today, September 1st, was actually the day that Clark moved to LA 10 years ago.
It's so wild how
Crazy.
10 years, 10 years ago this was. Insane. Like, I think it's so crazy that I'm at the point in my life where I feel like everyone growing up understands what 4 years as a block of time is. It's like 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, whatever. But it's like, this is the first time in my life that I can look back and be like, oh my goodness, this is 10 years.
Decade.
A decade is a chunk of my life. Like, I'm wearing a t-shirt from 2012 that, like, same year I met her.
Yes.
Like.
Yes. So fun fact in there. Clark moved into LA in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't move up here until 2012. So I've not hit my decade yet, but still 8 years is a good solid amount of time. I feel like we both feel pretty local.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to talk about like some of the pros and cons and celebrate 10 years. We've got some fun things here on the table to smoke.
Yes.
But yeah, we always like starting the stream asking you guys where you are and what you are smoking.
Yeah.
So let us know in the chat.
Exactly, because this is a sesh. This is a live dialogue. And
We've got someone here from Australia, and it's already the second there.
Oh, so we're already late. So we're already
crazy.
late to celebrating and stuff. Yes, I love whenever we can like be joined by our international like fans or smokers and stoners, and yes,
We love that.
Right, exactly. So yeah, a big shout out to everyone joining us live or after the fact. I mean, even if you're joining us after, let us know in a comment below. What are you smoking on? Where are you smoking from?
Much love to the replayers. Yes.
Right, so much love to replayers.
I've got some sherbet here packed up in the bowl. I'm going to start this off with a hit. Cheers, everybody.
Hey, cheers, everybody. Let's get this smoke. Oh, and also, if we're talking about what we're smoking on for this sesh, I love that as a couple, there's a few, like, little traditions. Oh, that big old...
Look at that cloud.
Cloud. There's a few traditions that we like to keep here in the Dabbin' Cabin, one of which is that if you have a reason to celebrate, it's always better to celebrate with a little bit of shine.
Hey!
Hey, so this is a Shine gold paper. Shine gold
Basically,
joints.
24 karat gold rolling paper.
Yeah.
Still safe to smoke, burns pretty well, but just fun for special occasions. Yeah, if we've got a birthday or something to celebrate. I feel like we've done this for quite a few years now. Like even before we had an account, shine papers were a thing. Even before we were that high couple, we were rolling golden blunts for birthdays and such. So felt very appropriate because 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years we've been in this city smoking.
What? That's crazy. Yeah, 10 years. And it's not to even think about like a brand like Shine. I remember when it first came into the market. Like, I remember so many brands when it first came in. So this is crazy. All right, so let's see. We can go ahead.
That? Yeah, let's mark it.
Yeah, or let's see, because it is 7:06. And if you've ever joined us on one of these live streams, you know that at 7:10, we like to take a little dab.
Yes.
So, we'll save that for post-dab because we have something else fun that we're, like, smoking out of.
Yes,
Look
something
at
new
this.
here.
Look at this little guy. Yeah.
MJ Arsenal has released their mini rigs in like a rainbow variety of colors.
Yes.
And we have the Claude here. Yes, I love it. That's my favorite part. You can hold it like a little teacup.
It's so small, like literally.
I love that's with your pinky. I definitely can hold it with like my index finger.
This is a
So fancy.
pinky dabs.
Yes.
Okay,
And
that
it's
you know
got
what? That's what the whole stream
it's
should have
got
been.
the little matching carb cap for it.
Like, how is this not the thumbnail?
It's so cute. It's so cute.
So cute.
Yeah, we've got that recently,
Yeah,
and have been loving it. So yeah, we'll take some dabs out of that. We'll take a proper 710 dab out of the mini rig.
Proper 710, yes, in our ongoing multi-year series of 710 dabs.
For those of you that don't know, if 420 is the time to smoke, then 710 is the time to dab.
Yep.
Because if you flip it upside down, it looks like it spells oil.
Yay.
And that is a type of concentrate that you can dab. So fun numerology, wordplay,
Super fun.
typography, whatever you want to categorize
Listen,
that as.
Hey, this stream is about celebrating numbers, celebrating milestones,
love it.
all of that. And yeah, I'm also excited to get into just some like not only like our favorite tips for living in LA, but some of our favorite stories.
We've got a good pros and cons list here.
Yes. So yeah, for
we've
anyone,
also got some questions on Instagram too. Anybody that's watching, you can of course ask in the chat. But if you want it for sure, like in the Instagram queue that I'm going to be reading off of, you can hop into our story and there's a little question box there that you can ask if you still want to get any of those in. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted.
No.
Getting into Los Angeles, the city of angels.
Yes, Los Angeles. Look, okay, but like I'm like we get into that.
708, 709.
I'm also just double checking, like see where else like people are like.
I saw a Mexico City in here. We got San Antonio, Texas, smoking ice cream cake and Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin and Apple O's.
Wisconsin.
I don't think I've ever tried the strain Apple O's, but I like that. Unless maybe that's an edible.
Ooh.
Either way, though, that's fun.
Ooh, I love Matthew from Patreon Club coming in with Durban Kush.
Shout out to Matthew.
Yeah, shout out to any of our Patreon members.
Florida and CBD. Cali Straw Nana. Florida Lemon Skunk. Indianapolis. I love it. Hello, everybody.
I know, and it's so good because it's like it helps me stay on top of like what are the strains that people are smoking around the world. Like I've never heard of some of this. I've never heard of Apple O's.
Right?
New to me.
We got Boise, Idaho in the house. Stockton, California.
Yes.
I think I saw another Florida in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we have 2 different Australias. That's very exciting.
That's
Gelato.
Yes.
That's a strain, not a place. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada.
Yes,
Moonshine
I love it. We
Haze.
got married in Ontario, California. I would consider it the sister city to Ontario, Canada.
That would be amazing if they actually were sister cities.
Right?
I hope that they are.
Ontario, and it's
That's
so
silly. I mean, Ontario, California is like. I mean, they have an airport,
and the airport is Ontario, CA.
And Ontario, I don't think Ontario, Canada has an airport. Or at
My
least there
family
is no
was
Ontario.
so fucking confused
exactly.
coming for our
It's
wedding in
Ontario,
Ontario.
CA.
They were
it's
like,
very funny.
"Are you Canadian now, or is this what's
Platinum
happening?"
Bubba 710.
Hey!
710. All right, so we'll take some dabs, get into some LA discussions,
yes,
and get
into some LA discussions
with everybody.
Just thinking, there's a lot to unpack, guys. 10 years, a decade of living in LA. I might actually start to feel like a local now. Maybe.
Maybe a decade.
I don't know.
Got Tucson, Arizona, Blue Cookies in Tulsa, Sour Diesel. I love it. Keep them coming.
Yay.
BC Homegrown.
Oh, let's get this 710 going.
Bam, Northern Lights. Love it.
710.
710. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers, everyone. Taking dabs from the dabbing cabin. Yes, yes, yes. 10 years living in LA.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
10 years. Oh my boy. Yes, I get these dabs. I love someone asking, are you both high? Not yet. It's so true.
Not yet, actually. This is my... I took a bong rip and now this, and you're not even high.
No. I'm going to be repping it. We got a golden joint. We got dabs.
Do we have a little...
Yes, we do. Here.
Oh, thank you. That was delicious. Cheers, everybody. Happy 710.
Hey. Happy 710. Happy 710.
Ooh, delicious.
Right, as we get
delicious.
this.
I think that was some sunset sherbet. Woo.
I love it. Okay, as I take this dab.
As you take that dab, as I take a sip of water, here's
Yes. I mean, I feel
daily
like
reminder to stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, guys. What are you doing? Drink. Weed and water go hand in hand. Come on now.
They do. Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna take this dab.
I'll answer this question.
Ooh.
God, it looks like Brody here is asking, how do I get on Patreon, guys?
Hey, thank you so much.
It's a fun question. I believe it's patreon.com/thathighcouple.
Yes.
That's it.
Just search for That High Couple Patreon. Honestly, search for That High Couple page. Easily pull up. Yeah, you can join. You can join as little, I believe it's $3 a month is the start, but for $5 a month you get access to our entire video library. So there's exclusive vlogs there.
And they're like a lot longer than our normal vlogs. We just got back from visiting Clark's family in Florida, which was a lot of fun, and there's like, I want to say like a 15-minute vlog from that that's just like our Florida adventures. So if you dig what we do on the channel and want a little extra, we also like send out little Polaroids every month to people, do little boxes and stuff. So thank you for asking. Thank you for any support. We definitely always appreciate that. And
Yep.
Thank you for asking the question. It's a good opportunity to make a quick plug here. We appreciate that.
Anyone that looked at this video's thumbnail and was like, ooh, I want to see more throwback pictures of them, every Thursday, Throwback Thursday.
Yes,
Patreon.
we do. Exactly. Every Throwback Thursday, yeah. With little years on it. Yay, thank you, Matthew. It's worth it. Join Patreon. I love it.
You guys are so sweet.
Amber's asking, do you love your MJ Arsenal piece? We do. I want to say this is our third or fourth
True, yeah.
mini rig, so like we really do love these guys for sure. They hit really, really well.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, the smaller size, I feel like you get more flavor.
So terpy.
Out of the
It's
dab.
so terpy, and it's good for travel too. You can put it in like a little padded carrying case and just kind of take it with you without having to do some big old rig setup. So.
Oh, I just saw someone come in messed up audio. I don't know, just anyone else in the chat. Just let me know if you guys, if the audio sounds good. Crystal, just want to check in. Also, just love seeing our Patreon members that are like in the chat and stuff. We see you guys. Everyone that's on like our mail club. Yes.
Love it.
Yay, Patreon.
So yeah, LA. Yeah,
okay.
let's get into it.
Let's get into it because I knew the starting point that I wanted to have with LA, at least for the pros and stuff. Because
Mr.
I feel
10 years knows the starting point.
Mr. 10 years, yes. Because I still love, I believe it was Kendrick Lamar that said it best, that LA is the land of 3 W's. Women, weather, weed.
Hey.
And like, if you're gonna start a pros list with LA, I feel like those are like the 3 strongest things to start with. So
the 3 very good strong W's. Yes.
Yes. Right. Because like, let's break it down. I mean, first off, like weed. Let's just dive into what I feel like you guys know that we're gonna say.
We're very passionate about the subject.
Obviously, it's going to be near the top of the pros, but like, here's the things that I feel like you already know that, okay, we have access to dispensaries. We're literally the leading of like the cannabis culture. I feel like any trends, any developments, any discoveries are happening here. Yes. Like this is the mecca of all things stoner. So it's like, not only do we have that industry, all that and stuff, but like when I look back at 10 years living in LA, I think the one thing that I'm so happy that I can say is that, especially because now with like COVID and stuff, I can say that I lived in LA during the golden age of weed events. Like, I remember.
I don't know if we'll ever get back there.
It's true, and like
I hope one day. I hope maybe when shit gets federally legal, like that'd be dope. But
I can already see both of us being talking heads on a future documentary because it's like
about
about this
golden
time.
era. Yeah, if you had a medical card recreational legalization in California, the events that companies were throwing were absolutely insane. The amount of free products you could get. This is pre us having a channel, just being cannabis enthusiasts and a couple that like to go to weed events. They would before it was like illegal to just be on a stage and like throw out grams of just dabs to people
with
and
nets,
like people with like people would bring
sky.
Butterfly nets to like catch these freebies of just like eighths of weed and like
people walking away with backpacks full of like free shit.
So much stuff to just give away to medical patients in California. And just like, because it was California and it was like the biggest market, they just had so much money to throw these giant events that would just be a huge event with 1 million booths during the day, just giving out free, like, stages throwing stuff, and then also getting to try free samples of stuff, and then getting to, like, usually buy it there if you wanted, and then ending the night with a concert, like...
Yeah.
And there are still definitely, like...
Things like it,
things
similar
like
to
that,
it, but
it's not to the point that you're just throwing out product on stage like that. I don't know if it'll ever get back to that.
Lining up for booths to take bong rips and dab hits.
At least not legally, because that was a point that, like, it was, you know, technically legal because it was all medical and that's the way the law was written. And then recreational came in and, like, not saying that recreational is a bad thing, but it's a fact that it definitely changed the event place for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's still recreational here. You can still come to California as long as you are 21 and go to anywhere in this city and get cannabis and have a good time, and it's fun. Yeah,
but it's like, I remember I recently watched a documentary just about like the 90s tech boom, and that's exactly what it sounded like. If they were just like every weekend a new brand, a new website trying to like get brand exposure, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it was. That's what like we lived, but it was with weed. And so like living in LA, pro weed, the culture, the industry, all that jazz. But then also weather. I don't think it can be understated how insanely perfect the weather here is. Like, she doesn't, like, she as a born and bred Californian doesn't know what it's like to live through a tornado.
Nope.
To, like, drive multiple hours in rain so bad that, like, people are putting on their hazard lights in order to, like, see just enough in front of you driving through thunderstorm. Like, torrential downpours. Like, there's just so much bad weather that I forget that I had to deal with being raised on the East Coast, that I'm just like, it's crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, even right now, even in, like, the hottest part of the summer where most people are dying, it doesn't get more than 90 degrees really on, like, an
If you have AC, you're fine. If you don't have AC, it's a couple of months out of the year. It can get a little uncomfortable in parts of the city.
But, like,
you know, not gonna lie, but it's slightly uncomfortable. It's not, like, unsafe to go out and get in a car or, like, get in the basement because there's a tornado coming. It's not...
We don't deal with hurricanes.
Yeah, hurricane
we don't deal
season or tornado season. We do have a fire season.
Do have fires.
That is a thing.
But living in LA, we're very insulated from the larger fires.
We are in the city, and it is more of a outskirts of Los Angeles County and the rest of California that gets hit with it.
But still, I think...
yeah, the weather here hardly ever rains. Always nice out. Always blue skies.
And it plays into, like, the culture of California. Like, just like this last weekend, we were visiting Ojai, California, and they have a bookstore that's entirely open to the air.
Outdoors,
open, outdoor.
Yeah.
That can only happen in a California city where it's
cool.
like...
I wish that was in LA, yeah.
Right? But I feel like that's just so much of, like, little outdoor patios, outdoor malls, like the Grove. Like, take for the Grove in LA. It's super touristy, but it's like, yes, there's a lot of just, like, outdoor cool things that I feel like are permanently because the weather is always perfect.
Yes.
So yeah, weather. And then the last thing, women, which also can be brought into, like, beautiful people, interesting people. I mean, it's...
People make jokes that, like, oh, you're like, you know... Oh, God, I'm too high for the numbers right now. Basically, you're... Yeah, what is it? Okay, you're you're a Georgia 9, but an LA 6.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
And that's,
you know, kind of like, I mean, not that we should ever rank people by numbers based on their appearance, because that is not a good thing to do. But that is a thing that is said in a joke, and, like, there's a reason that people say that.
Yes.
Because a lot of people in LA are very, very, very beautiful.
Yeah, oh my God. Between, like, anyone that's trying to be an actor or an actress in, like, traditional media, or anyone that's trying to be, like, a YouTuber, like, this is the city for all young, attractive, upcoming talent. And it's just like, I think it's cool because then you get to meet really interesting people. Like, I honestly feel like you take a random selection of our friend circle here in LA and pit it against anyone that I went to high school with in Georgia, and it's like, you're going to be having a lot better conversation with our LA friends. Okay, and then, yeah, like, I don't know, and then it's like, yeah, you get to meet the love of your life when you get to go for a city that just has cool, interesting people that are just down for weed. If you're out there, like, looking at us and being like, man, where is my other half of that high couple? They're living in LA. I can, like, they might be. They might just be. So, yeah, those are my top 3 pros. There's more, but I feel like we could also kind of keep this balance and do a couple of pros and a couple of cons even.
Yeah, a couple of cons. We got a little, like, bullet list here. We're not going to go through, like, everyone, but just some notes to reference.
No.
Top one on it is cost of living. It's, yeah, not going to lie, it is expensive to live in LA.
Very true. Talking $14 salads. Like, ugh. And I paid it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there are other expensive cities out there. I want to say I don't think it's as bad as New York.
No. It's not as bad.
But New York is notoriously expensive,
Yeah.
so...
And it's still, it's to the point that, like, I feel like LA is such, like, especially 10 years living in LA, LA is exactly where I wanted to spend my 20s. Like, just fucking having fun. It's about the events, it's about the people, it's about the culture, like... I don't know, but now that I'm in my 30s, I'm starting to get a little more materialistic with shit. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe I want to build a foundation, like, I don't know, somewhere. And LA is, I think I've said it before to my friends, LA is a big, giant sandcastle.
Yeah.
LA is one of those places where, like, it doesn't care what you want to build. You can build a fucking empire as unique and as beautiful as you are, but, like, you can't expect it to last that long unless you have some serious resources. Like, I feel like LA is just a city where it's like our favorite restaurants, like, here today, gone tomorrow, and it's just like that the churn of LA is real. And that's why I feel like it's also like reason why we're taking a moment to like appreciate 10 years, because fucking I made it. I made it 10 years at least. No one can take that away from me. This is a city that will absolutely chew you up and spit you out. Like,
yes.
If you don't find your people, if you don't find your purpose.
It's true. I have more than one friend or acquaintance that I know that moved up here and then ended up moving back home because, like, it just wasn't for them, couldn't cut it, like, couldn't make it work, and, like, chewed them up, spit them back out, and was like, not for me, but... But yeah, made it 10 years. I do feel like, going back to, like, cost of living, like, it is expensive, but it is worth it. You do get something for what you are paying for.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that something is worth it. Like, going back to, like, the pros of it, like... There are so many events and things to do in LA.
Yes.
That, like, you will literally never run out of options. Even now in quarantine, like, there are still COVID-safe things that you can, like, that are within an hour's, hour or two drive away from the city that just, like... I feel like that does not happen in other cities and other places. Not that it, like, doesn't exist at all, but, like, literally almost anything you can think that you want to do, art, culture... fitness, like anything good for your well-being, food, like that you want to do to go out and explore and have fun, like you've got a million different options within that niche to like, okay, cool, you can go do this, and this within like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Like California and LA has so much to do, which is so cool with that. So like, yes, you're paying a lot to live here, but like, I don't know, you have so much fun, like, you live a fantastic life, none of it feels like it's the same shit day after day or anything living here, like, there's always something exciting, always something to look forward to, there is no kind of monotonous, just, routine that you fall into in this city. I mean, I suppose you could, but it would be almost difficult because of how much fun shit that there is to actually do.
Yeah. And I even think about just like, when we think about 10 years, all the years that I've lived in LA, I think about the mini buckets of adventures, because there's the California adventures that are just us or even just you alone exploring this state and exploring the area, and the fact that LA is the hub, the center of a spider web that connects you to every kind of ecosystem, to every kind of mountain, beach adventure. So like that's one whole reason bucket that I would live in LA. The next one is all the adventures you can have just by connecting with people with similar passions, the weed events, the movie events, the
music
premieres,
festivals.
like so many amazing things that would only happen if you live in a city with enough people with similar interests,
enough fans, exactly.
Fucking smorgasbord and stuff.
Yeah.
That's all food we're gonna get to, but but then it's like I love you have it's like you have the physical stuff, the like cities, and then you have the things that are LA City moments and stuff. Like I loved being here for so many different championships and the fact that we were like at the all Black Lives Matter like protests. Like I live in a city where if I want to like feel like I want to contribute to a big part of a big movement, like I can. Like LA is home to so many things, so many it's just great. Yeah, you can like I've said it to my friends back home, but like I say no to more things in a weekend in LA than I ever could have said yes to in Atlanta. Like just growing up, like it would be a month would go by in Atlanta and be like, okay, there's like one or two things in that whole month I'm really looking forward to, where it's like, yeah, like she said, even in COVID, even under quarantine, there's like all these, let's go to the drive-in movie theater. Let's go to like all these different fun, like
we've gone. I'm trying to think. Like we've gone to a walk through a lavender festival field sort of thing. Not festival. Yeah. They used to do a festival. Now it was just a walk through the lavender field. We went out to see the poppies in March. That's something we do almost every year that we've lived here. At least a good like 6-7 years. Yeah, like Clark was saying, we've done the drive-in movie theater. There's so many parks to go and picnic at.
Yes.
So many hikes to go and do. Even just going to the beach. Like, the beaches, California beaches are big enough. I feel like you do see on the news of like, oh my god, everybody's at the beach and nobody's wearing a mask. But like, when you look at it, like, from above, everybody is still spread out 6 feet apart from each other, and, like, the vibe that we've seen is, like, okay, if people walk right by you or you're gonna be closer than 6 feet, everybody's got a mask. You put it on. As soon as you're done on the sand and you're going back to your car, you put your mask back on. You keep, like, if you're gonna be walking around people, you do that. But if you're out in nature, outdoors, you're gonna be 6 feet apart from people. Like, the California beaches are big enough to take advantage of that. There's enough sand that it's not, like, most of them are not, like, skinny little beaches that everybody is just packed in like sardines. So yeah, it's
California.
Great. It's great. We love it.
Yes.
We love it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think a couple of cons.
Because there's even more pros I can get into, but like some other cons, someone even asked about like air quality.
Yeah.
I have like pretty sensitive lungs, and I've in 10 years never felt that it's been to the point where like I couldn't comfortably go outside. Like, take that with a grain of salt, if you will. I know that some people are more sensitive, but it's like, I've lived in California my whole life. I see someone asking where's home for Alice. I grew up in San Diego, so like 2.5 hours south of here. And I'd say like there's definitely less traffic in San Diego. It's not like San Diego is known for bad air quality or anything. And I don't want to say I've really noticed a difference between Los Angeles and California. It's never like I've walked out one day and just been like, ooh, it's harder to breathe. Like, it's, you know, maybe it's a little hazy, but we also have fire seasons, and that's a big contribution to that versus just, like, smog from cars. So I feel like I've seen a lot more kind of, like, smog pictures and complaints and stuff on the internet than I would actually be, like, that I would agree with. Yeah, for sure. I can see that. Oh. Okay, but I'm thinking cons. Here's the one of the number ones, easily near the top of my list, and I'll take this joint. You could also hand me some water.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm going to say as much as because to me it's the double-edged sword. On the pros is people, but it's definitely on the cons is the trash people that the city attracts because.
True, there's beautiful people, but there's a lot of fake, superficial,
like
selfish.
Also, I mean, like. I know most
not good people.
Right, I know exactly. That's the thing. Like, this is the kind of city that caters to egos, that babysits egos, that like no one checks yourself. Everyone is just run amok. But I don't know. It's like there's the people that you come in contact with, and then there's just like the trash people of the city where it's just like, oh, she goes out to her car. She goes out to her car one morning with all of her 4 wheels just completely stolen and a car up on blocks.
That's a story. That happened in like the 2010s, not like the 1980s, like you would think.
I'm like, man, there's a lot of movies that I see that remind me of LA.
Literally,
I'm like, that really happens?
I drive a shitty old Toyota Corolla. Like,
it's not anything. Like, it's not like she's on rims.
They were not good. They were the factory tires. It was almost to the point that I was like, is someone just fucking with me? Is someone just like doing this to just be like, I bet I can do it, so I'm gonna fucking do it? Like, what is like? Because they're not valuable tires. I never understood it, and it was such a fucking hassle to like. The tow truck can't come and tow you away because you don't have tires. Your car's on cinder blocks. So like. What are you gonna do? And eventually, like, I got the people from, I want to say, Just Tires, shout out to Just Tires in Hollywood, to come over and put 4 temporary tires on my fucking car, and we drove it over to Just Tires, and then, like, put actual real tires on it and stuff, but, like crazy of a dude, having to come and, like, put new tires on my car in the middle of the fucking street.
I've been like, stopped at a 4-way stop sign just to have a homeless dude throw a food bomb at me, which was, like, a burrito filled with leftover from 3 different, like, meals that he just decided to fucking throw it at my car, like hit the side of the car. I was like...
Okay, exactly. That can happen.
Yeah, and I also even think, because I'm just high enough that I think about, like, also LA is the city where, like, it's the city of cults. Like, this is the city where it's like...
Scientology is a very real thing here. They're everywhere, and it's weird.
This is a city that, like, will take advantage of you if you are not looking. I remember some of my first job interviews being in the middle of the job interview and being like, oh, fuck, it's a scam. Like, halfway through, be like, oh, damn it, I'm about to, they want me to sell, and then it's the
pyramid.
Oh, damn it. And it's just like, I love, so right now seeing in the chat, Larry, one of our Patreon members, saying LA, it's a sunny place for shady people.
That's a great way to put it. That is perfect.
And that is on the money. So it's like, yeah, LA is something where it's like, coming from the community of Southern hospitality and like looking out for one another, I'm like, no one in LA will look out for you and will in fact laugh at you as someone fleeces you, like on the street.
Yeah.
So just... Then be right, but like, but again, it's just same box. What do you want to make out of it?
Also,
what do
trash
you want?
people, yes.
Yes, and then just to me, it helps. It just teaches me to just be a little smart. Just be a little smarter. Be more aware.
Smart. You're aware. Exactly. I will say, I mean, thank goodness we've never felt like truly unsafe in this city.
Yes. It's more like
I've had pepper spray on my keys literally since I moved up here 8 years ago. Thank goodness I've never had to use it. I've never even had to like pull it out and hold it in my hands and like threaten someone with it. So, but I got that shit. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
And I got it when I moved up here because it's a city, so you gotta be a little smart, but luckily you've never run into a situation worse than like, our car is being a little vandalized, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely, I've definitely had my car window actually being broken.
Yeah, you've had a broken car
I've had
window.
My car being broken into.
Yeah.
And it was in my my apartment building's garage.
Inside the underground garage.
Gated garage.
Like, yeah. And I will say that the street that I was parked on when my tires got stolen, it was like on the same street as an elementary school. So I'm just like, what is it? There's a school right here. This is not that bad of a neighborhood. Like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like, right. And that's the other thing about LA is that like, LA is so street to street. It almost feels like it's just like it's so
very
bubble
block
to bubble.
To block. It really is.
And it's like, I don't know. And like, I like never call it the homeless like problem. It's the homeless population here. Like most cities in America, we do have homeless, and it's just something that it's like, it makes me like sad when I feel like I feel more comfortable as a human being walking around with dollars in my front pocket just because like they're empathy dollars, like something where it's like I feel like it wears down on you to like try to ignore like human beings. I don't know, in the city and stuff. But
there's a lot of them, so you should not just become numb to it.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like yeah, but it's like but let
me see. Back to some positives.
Back to some positives.
We're kind of finishing up here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just the food, the amount of like variety and cuisine that you can get here, and that's available on every pickup or delivery app. It's like, and I recognize that is in a lot of cities. If you live in New York, you have the same thing. If you live in probably a major city, you do probably have a lot of food options. But like, LA, especially for like, neither of us is vegetarian or vegan. But it doesn't mean that like we don't enjoy a vegetarian or vegan dish every now and then. And like, if you are vegetarian or vegan, oh my God, LA is the mecca.
It's
like,
right.
There are so many healthy options here. But still so many other just amazing, every possible style of cuisine you could possibly want in 10 different options of how do you want it. Not just like, the one Indian place or the, one place we can go do, Korean barbecue or hot pot or something. There's like 20 places you can go do that, which is awesome.
So good. And I feel like the misconception with most people is that they think it's only like these fancy restaurants, but it's like LA is so big that it has every kind of food option for every kind of budget. I know of more like takeaway shops and like places to get like lunches for like under $10 than I ever had in my small town in Georgia. And it's just like, and it's so nice because it has everything. If you really want to treat yourself, you can. Every single, oh my God, the food here.
Job. Yeah, really good food and just like available 24 hours a day.
Oh, and the last thing I was like, what else was I gonna say? And I remember, I think like after my first couple of years living here, once we like made a road trip out of the city, and I started seeing more of like the McDonald's and Burger Kings and more just the chains, that I started realizing I was like, oh man, I've like been so spoiled in LA because you have access to chains, but like they're so rare that it's like all my favorites are like mom and pop shops that were started in LA. Like all my favorite foods.
We get excited now when we see a Sonic because there are no Sonic chains in LA. They're all in Orange County or Inland Empire.
I get excited when I see a Cracker Barrel.
Exactly. Like there's all these chains now that I'm like, LA has, and there are chains. It's not like, there's not a fucking Jack in the Box and McDonald's on every single street corner. But in addition to that, you have a lot of mom and pop shops and a lot of variety, and that's super dope. So, I love it.
Yes.
Ooh, goodness.
Yeah, food can't be underestimated.
That was a good dab.
Good dab.
I feel like we'll finish off. This is a good one to end on.
What we got?
I feel like just talking about like how grateful we are living here, the opportunity that we have of just like being able to create and do this channel, and also the full-time jobs that we work in are really very unique to LA.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like don't exist in a lot of other places, and like I don't know if we could successfully do a that high couple in a lot of other places. Yes, there is, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, and stuff. There are definitely other places that.
That is a hella good point to end on. Is that this channel would only exist in a handful of cities.
Exactly, yeah, there's a handful of cities, and like I'm just so happy that we're here in LA and we can do it, and that like outside of the channel, like most of I'm social media director for GPen, and that's something that I have been working remotely pretty much this whole year. It is our home office is based here in LA. And that's something that I wouldn't have had that opportunity to now have, like, this dream position at a job that I love if I didn't, like, have this channel from living in California and living in LA and being able to do it. And, Clark works as a talent manager for social media influencers, which is also a very
You're not going to find that in
LA
Columbus, Ohio.
type of thing. Exactly.
Like,
there are jobs that like, there's not that many opportunities elsewhere where we would still be able to do this and be in a position that like really makes us happy and doesn't just feel like we're at a job. Like we are in careers that we are very, very much enjoying and stoked to have. Like,
right. And still like, and LA has my heart. Like I see, I feel like LA's not going to be doesn't have to be the place that we retire in, but it's like, it will always, I feel like it's home now. Yeah. Like 10 years of living in LA, it's like...
I love it, yeah, I love LA. I don't see us moving anytime soon, necessarily, too. No. Like, maybe out of the cat, exactly, but not outside of LA. Yeah, not moving out of the city.
I do love that pretty much that whole decade has been spent living in Hollywood, too. Like, I haven't spent any of that time living in, like, Burbank or downtown or the west side. Like I've spent a decade pretty much living in Hollywood. I think we've each been in 3
apartments in the time that we've lived here, and 2 out of 3 of them have been together. Yeah. But all of them have been in the Hollywood area, pretty much same zip code, I want to say, or maybe one zip code over. Like
pretty much a bordering zip code over. Right, 10 years. Like how many jobs? Like I've worked at the Grove. I've sold like denim. I've worked at Apple. I've worked as a script coverage, like for like a producer, like, oh my god, wait, there's other ones. I mean, if it's just work for like independent
new media kind of stuff, exactly.
Just a couple of companies like that, but all would only exist like in LA and stuff. It's
crazy. Yeah, I think I worked at the mall, I worked at Nordstrom when I first moved to the city. Handbag department. What up? Then I worked for a boudoir photography studio, and then my last job where I was a product photographer for an e-commerce fashion website for like the past 5 years, and now I actually just recently passed my like 1 year at GPen, so that's super exciting and like crazy that this year it has actually been a year. And like most of it has been working from home, but like, I got to do a lot of fun stuff from like August up until quarantine started in March. So it's awesome. Yeah. I love my job. I love living here.
I know. So okay.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Okay, I'm checking in with the chat real quick. Someone asking, can I live comfortably on $20,000 a month in LA? Like, comfortably, I don't know if you'd be able to afford Nobu every weekend, like some influencers that I know. I love someone saying like no White Castles. Truly,
that's true.
No White Castles, no Waffle House.
Yeah,
is such a pain.
We do just now to get a couple Cracker Barrels, and that's still even like an hour drive out of the city, but worth it.
Yes.
Let's see. We can get into some Instagram questions. We'll see if there's any other questions in the chat there.
Yeah, I love people joining us that say like, oh, they want to like run their own dispensary and stuff more than anything, and it's like, yes, that is a dream career that like I feel like LA is the city. Like anyone that is watching right now, if you have any kind of ambition to be in the cannabis industry, whether you're a baker or someone that is sewing, someone that is a computer engineer, graphic artist, literally anything that you're passionate about, you can apply it to the cannabis industry. Like, Yo, if that's your interest, LA,
Woo!
your way. Like, come on now.
Okay, getting into the couple of these Q&A here. So, we have what are the best eats in LA while high, and what are some fun things to do in LA? So I'm still capping off with like some fun LA questions.
Best eats in LA. That's a great.
Best eats while high.
Best eats while high.
Oof. I mean, there's a lot of really good Mexican food here.
Oh my god, yeah, that's true.
Lots of good like tacos, burritos options. Pretty much any good little mom and pop hole in the wall place is gonna be good.
I'll say even just talking about like an LA treat has got to be like if late night high munchy. Oh, those bacon wrapped hot dogs that you see on the street. That's an LA staple.
They
those
come
street
out
vendors
in the kind of like touristy areas, like as soon as the sun sets, and you can smell them from blocks away because it's just delicious bacon wrapped hot dogs with like onions and like garlic and peppers and shit. Whatever. Oh god, and they're like, they're really really good. Yeah, they are. Well, especially high at that time of night, like.
And it's crazy that they're all bacon wrapped hot dogs. Like I don't. It's such a weird thing that like this is just the thing.
So unique and so good. God, like I want a candle of that
just
smell.
That bacon wrapped hot dog. That is such an LA. It's like the LA
bacon, like Hollywood Boulevard bacon wrapped hot dog smell. Like
that, right? Yes. If you want to eat like a local, it's like you eat that at night, and then during the day you go to the same street corner and you'll find the fruit vendors. Because I'm telling you,
you tell them what kind of fruit you want. They like chop it up real good, and then they pour it with some lime, and then pour a little tagine if you want that, and then they give you a fork, and you just like have this like big old thing of like good fresh fruit.
This city like, has made me fall in love with the idea of like a container of fruit can be a snack. It can be a full like watermelon and mango and pineapple and yes. Yeah, some good high munchies. Yeah.
Will you guys ever come up to Portland, Oregon, and try some of the bud up here? Portland would definitely be on the list. Portland's always looked like a cool city to go and travel to for sure.
Yeah, this whole West Coast, I feel like we're itching for a road trip.
Right, go all the way up to Canada. Let's do it. Oh my god, let's do it.
Yeah, San Diego to Vancouver. That's the road trip.
Entire West Coast. That'd be dope.
Oh my god, that's a series. We gotta leave a comment if you want to see that West Coast series. Give us the encouragement. Let's go.
Love it.
What else we got? What else we got?
We got favorite board game to play while high.
Ooh.
High as fuck. Love y'all, by the way. Thank you.
I don't know. Does it count as a board game? But like Connect 4, high as fuck is a favorite for us.
Yeah, we get fun and competitive with Connect 4. That's a good one. I'd consider that a board game.
Right? I mean,
It's in the same part of the store. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think other.
Comes in a cardboard box.
Right. It's in there. It's in there.
It's there.
Oh, Battleship.
I mean, Battleship's fun. Another one. Not a full board game.
If you're saying high as fuck, then like I'm not gonna bust out Monopoly or Clue. I tried to fucking play Clue high as hell, and like I couldn't. I was just like, I don't even know how many different things I'm supposed to be keeping track of.
It's a lot.
Cones of Catan over here. I don't know.
Keep it simple.
There you go.
Yeah. Let me see. What's your favorite neighborhood? We're looking to move to LA soon.
That is what's your favorite neighborhood? Because here's the thing. LA, I feel like people know that like Chicago has a vibe, New York has a vibe. LA is a patchwork quilt.
Well, New York is like that.
That's true. I mean, it has the burbs and stuff, the Bronx and Brooklyn and different
Brooklyn and Queens and fucking There are neighborhoods. LA is the same way though. Yeah, LA has cool little unique neighborhoods and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So between like a Silver Lake and a Beverly
Hollywood.
Hills.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say. Yeah, Silver Lake is pretty cool. It's a little, like, cliche, because, like, in the early 2010s, it was like, that's where all the hipsters are. But, like, there are a lot of really cute little coffee shops and farmers markets and, like, little parks and fun things to walk around, and it's all cool little vintage houses. So, like, yeah, Silver Lake's definitely a vibe. Echo Park is right there next to Silver Lake.
A little more affordable, still
a little bit more affordable, still just as cute, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And there's, like, I'll say this, like, I love downtown LA, I love Hollywood. I think it's the west side that we tend to not, like, think too fondly of, like Santa Monica. I mean, though, Venice Beach. I do love Venice Beach.
Venice is fun. Venice is pricey.
Right, it's one of those, like, it's good to visit the beach in the west side for, like, a day, but it's like, I don't know, Santa Monica, living there would be it's so expensive. So many people, even... like, I don't know, at least...
Highland Park is a pretty cool neighborhood.
Ooh, yeah.
There's a lot of cool little, like... Yeah, local shops and a really cool vintage bowling alley. And yeah, cool apartment complexes and stuff. And like, if you're looking to move to LA and it doesn't like, if you don't have a like, oh, I need to work, you know, close to downtown or, you know, whatever, check out Highland Park. Yeah.
Yeah. I love seeing people coming in through that it's like, yeah, like every 5 miles has a different vibe. That is very true in LA.
True. Yeah.
I also love sounds like London. Like, yes, I lived in London for 2 months, and that is absolutely like Camden Town and Piccadilly Circus and all those very different fucking parts of the city. And yes, LA is just very neighborhood to neighborhood. Also recommend like NoHo, North Hollywood and stuff.
Yeah, it's not bad if you don't mind living in the Valley.
Right. I know. Right, I feel like that's
the Valley has a stigma. I will say the Valley has a bit of a stigma.
You can tell we're from Hollywood because it's like it's the people that live in the Valley have the stigma. The people that live on the West Side.
The Valley is cool. There's a lot of cool stuff, but like
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
To get
and
over
like
the Hollywood
I will
Hills,
warn you, yeah,
it's a thing.
It's a thing. You gotta like really be friends with someone if you, depending on where you live and where they live, if you're like gonna go visit them on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like. Yeah, we don't go to the West Side that often, and we don't really go to the Valley that often, so...
Yeah.
Unless we, like, really like you and want to hang out. Otherwise, yeah, a lot of our friends just live pretty close here, within, like, a 10-15-minute drive of, like, our little area.
Yeah.
But luckily, Hollywood is pretty close to everything. It's not like it's impossible to get there. It's just a very cliche fucking bullshit LA thing of just, like, we're gonna... I don't, just depending, and a lot of it has to do with traffic. The traffic is a thing, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I remember the Valley stigma coming from Pulp Fiction, and so it's like, yeah.
But the Valley is cool. There's a lot of cool restaurants and cool shit to do in the Valley. It's just like its own little bubble that like, I don't know, how often do you get out of the Valley? How often do other people go into the Valley? Unless you need something in the Valley, like, I don't know.
But you know what? Here, thank you, person that like commented that, because it also reminded me. At least just like we're gonna get back to questions, but one quick pro I want to add to the list of living in LA, because I don't know, being in a small town in Georgia, I was raised on TV and movies, and like it still is so cool to live in the city where this is just where movie history is. Like Pulp Fiction and Big Lebowski and so many movies where it's like, I know where it was filmed now. I've been there. I have my own story to add to like the backdrop of some of these like amazing films. Even today we watch TV shows and movies where it's like, oh, we know exactly where that is. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That I can say that I watch Parks and Rec and I'm like, oh, I know exactly where in Pasadena where they are right now.
Yeah,
like
that's City Hall.
That's great. LA. Just love that. Love it.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple of questions here we'll get to in the chat. How's the transit access where you live? I will say LA's not known for their public transit, but it does exist. When I was in college, I lived in Orange County, and was going to school for photography, and so I was coming up to LA a lot for photo shoots and didn't actually have a car, and this was pre-Uber time, so I was taking the bus to the train station to the subway to get around town, and like it was doable. I was able to get to photo shoots, I was able to do stuff. A couple of times people had to give me rides from like, hey, pick me up at a station and you know, drive me to a certain house or something or whatever. I had to get a cab, but like if you're going to a pretty central location that's not, you know, someone's house way out somewhere or something, like it is pretty easy to get around. It is nice that like LA has trains, LA has subways, LA has buses, and actually they're talking about making the entire transit system completely free. I know it's like being discussed. I saw that headline recently, so yeah, not the best, but like not bad either. Certainly doable if you wanted to move here and didn't want to have to rely on Ubers and didn't want to have to get a car. Also, it's a very birdable city. There are still a lot of birds and limes and scooters around, and like it is you can get around quick on those in a lot of different neighborhoods.
Yeah. I love the the little like scooters and stuff that we can like hop around now.
Yes,
that's so
exactly
so good.
So okay, if you could live in any place, where? I mean, we love LA,
right? We
love LA, but if I could live anywhere, I mean,
could live anywhere.
I did go to Paris earlier this year for the first time and fell in love with Paris. Paris was a vibe. Paris was a full vibe.
Full on vibe, Paris.
Yeah.
I like living in a place with some history and stuff. Yeah. I feel like there's a couple of places maybe over in Europe, maybe Amsterdam or something. I don't know.
I'd love to go. Yeah, I'm yet to go to Amsterdam. But...
Waterways and bikes and stuff. Yes.
Ooh, so good. Would you guys ever be on the Dr. Green Thumb podcast, Sending Good Vibes?
Oh man, if the invitation
hits
our inbox,
exactly, would gladly accept.
Yeah, why not, dude? Dr. Green Thumb is a legend.
Exactly,
in this industry.
Be real. Jeffrey and I say hi from Oklahoma. How's your homegrown weed coming? Updates.
Oh,
so we are attempting to get back into that.
Yeah.
I feel like we can tell them how the last one went. Like, can we tell them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Basically, we got seeds. We tried seeds for the first time. We may have already said this now. This does sound familiar. But if you haven't heard this, got to the point where, like, they were sprouting. We did the, like, wet paper towels and stuff. And then we put them in a little bit of dirt. And we watered them. And they never, like, popped out and did a thing.
Yeah.
So, that was unfortunate. But I think we're going to go with clones again. We just have to go back to the dispensary and pick up another clone or two. We're probably only going to just grow 1, maybe 2 strains. Because we are pretty limited on space with the box. As much as we love it.
Yeah.
It works better for like 1 plant, so.
I know. Yeah.
Let's see here. A couple more questions. If you had to move tomorrow to a new place for a year, where would you want to go? Okay, that's kind of similar to where would you want to live. If it was just for a year, I'd probably really lean in on Paris, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in Europe and stuff. Yeah, just for a year. Because what I love is if you could live for a year in like some place that's centrally located, like in Europe, then it's like, yeah, I would just do all of the like.
Because exactly, then you could get everywhere else exactly and do all of that. Last one that we have here on Instagram. Do you have brothers or sisters?
Yes. I'm an older brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a younger sister.
Yeah. It's like, I know, yay.
Yeah.
It's like, shout out to little sis if she's watching.
All right. Yeah, Clark has 1 younger sister, and I've got 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for Instagram questions there.
Ooh, I love that Instagram questions stuff. Yeah, and if there's anything coming in through like the chat and stuff, let us know. We'll try to catch any like questions that we see there. But yeah, just like 10 years, 10 years,
10 years, a decade. Yeah, that is an accomplishment.
We need another dab.
Love it.
Oh, cheers.
Oh, okay. Actually, another one did just come in here that I'm seeing. What's y'all's favorite dispensary in Hollywood? In Hollywood, well, I'll tell you my new favorite one. I think is probably Calma.
Oh, yes.
It is right in West Hollywood. It's actually right across the street from the Cannabis Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, it is high tech, it is cool, everybody in there is super friendly, they've got a huge variety of shit, like, it's all laid out really, really smart.
They have a wall that's a full video wall. Like,
it feels like something out of, like, the Strip in Las Vegas or something. Like, you go in there and literally I would just, like, it's insane. It is an entire, like, LCD wall that is also a screen that, like, they changed to, like, it's a waterfall, it's like a fucking drone going over a mountain, it's like an undersea scape with fish and stuff swimming around, and it's just like on the wall with all the products and stuff, and it is like, it's a very cool trippy experience that's like almost worth visiting the shop for that alone, but like also has a bunch of other cool stuff that's worth going to.
Yeah, I love it's across
Calma,
Calma.
Calma. It just opened like last month in August, I want to say, yeah.
Right, I love it. It's across the street from the original Cannabis Cafe, which just another thing. I'm just like, hey, that's a literal LA only thing. I'm just like, yeah, this is a city where it's like we're like cannabis cafes. Like I have smoked weed at a restaurant cafe before because I live in LA. Like, chef's kiss.
Right, I can't wait for that to come back.
So good. I know.
Ooh. Okay.
I like someone asking any new tattoo ideas for the future. That is something that I actually am now thinking about because I think I've always wanted an LA tattoo, but never felt like I had the right to. But after 10 years of living in LA, maybe, just maybe, I might get an LA tattoo. Give me suggestions. Let me know.
Pop it in.
Right, I want to know. Also, I mean, we need a tattoo. That's another.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, we've been together for time now.
Little couple something.
Little something.
And stuff. But right, good questions. Got good. I mean, man, just
right. Something fun, something worth celebrating.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, like any other. I mean, what's great is that I feel like some of my favorite LA stories are videos on this channel, which is like.
That's true. We've been fortunate enough to be able to document a lot of it and can look back and I've shared a lot of it with you guys. So we love that.
I know. Definitely go watch the Antelope Valley Poppy vlog right after this. If you want some slice of California.
Oof. Yeah, poppy fields are like my favorite thing that we do every year.
I remember going to the poppies, and it was like one of the first times that there were more international tourists around me than there were locals, and I was like, this is like in the middle of nowhere, California. Like, this must be the most special
Yeah.
thing. It, like, it gave gravity to the moment. I was like, California, you internationally pretty.
Yeah.
Internationally. Okay, well, cheers, LA. We love you.
Cheers, everybody. Right,
Pros and
one
cons.
last,
We're still here. Pros and cons.
Exactly. Before we get off to get some dinner tonight, get some munchies. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for celebrating 10 years in LA with us.
Oh my God, 10 years. Amazing. Yeah. Cheers to another 10 years. If you want more adventures, check out our Patreon page.
Yeah, exactly. Join for that bonus material. And yeah, we'll be back next No, we won't. We won't actually.
Because that's the day after our 3-year wedding anniversary. So October 6th is
2-year
the
wedding
first
anniversary.
2 year.
Yes.
2 year. Okay.
But yeah, we got married on October 5th, 2018. So, we will be out of town on October 6th is the first Tuesday. That'll be the day after. So, we will let you guys know on Instagram how we're going to reschedule that, whether it's before or it's the second Tuesday, or if it's just later in the week or whatever. We should still be doing a stream that month though, but it just won't be on the first Tuesday of the month. So, probably after actually, because yeah, leading up to it will be vacation and stuff. But yeah, we'll let you know. Probably second Tuesday, but we'll keep you posted. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I love my
We love you guys.
One of my favorite rapid question: how do you get so high in camera and keep it together? Practice.
Hey,
Practice.
I love it.
Loving you guys.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you on the next live stream.
Yep.
Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday week life. Love you guys.
Peace out.
Peace out.